Simon & Schuster Audio and Grove Atlantic present
Sunbirth by Anne Yu. Read by Mei Mei Macleod. All that is pure lies in the primordial and the divine. Everything in between is filth. Somewhere, sometime, a long time ago. The Sun People stripped the blind man of his clothes and ordered him to walk. Find the sun, they said. Find the God of light. There, they told him, you will finally see. Naked, the blind man marched towards the sun. 300 mornings, he treaded east. 300 dusks, he hiked back west. Never once did he reach the sun. He walked in darkness until he no longer believed in the light. The world must have always been black. He lost his faith and was left with a limited body, wrapped around his bottomless desires. Those desires grew. His body remained. The Sun People gathered around as the blind man fell to the ground. Help me, he begged. I am but a man. But silently, the Sun People stood and watched as a light, a brilliant gold, poured out of the blind man's mouth. The light grew bigger and swallowed the blind man's head. Upon witnessing what had happened, the Sun People picked up the blind man's body and built him a temple. He found the sun, they exclaimed. He found the sun. The light is in him, they shouted. As the years went by, as mountains eroded, as rivers broke the soil, the Sun People lost their God, the sun, and believed now in the blind. The sun dimmed and disappeared. Everything died. The blind died too. No one lived to tell what happened thereafter. 5 Poems Lake. A long time thereafter. Chapter 1. The sun was half bright, half warm, half full. It was a morning in August, and it was cold. I'd made the mistake of using a damp towel to seal the gap under the bedroom window, and now the fabric had frozen solid. I must have caught a cold, because I'd woken up with a stuffed nose and a painful lump in my throat. After having rubbed my legs as fast as I could for a few minutes, I got out of bed and boiled some hot water on the stove. I unclasped my lab coat from the rack, relieved to discover it was finally dry. The lab coat had felt too tight for some time now, ever since I started wearing my coat underneath, but I didn't care enough to replace it with a larger size. Dongji had reminded me on many occasions that I'd looked like a gigantic steamed bun. She couldn't understand why I never felt embarrassed looking so silly. I'd hung up some quilted curtains on the door connected to the shop floor, but they hardly did anything to keep the draft from creeping into the living area. The colder and darker mornings nowadays meant that I'd been having trouble waking up at the usual hour, leaving me with just enough time to quickly stuff down a boiled egg before opening the pharmacy. To soothe my throat, I crushed up some dried monk fruit and dropped it inside my hot water flask. I went into the shop, unbolted the lock on the front door, and turned the wooden sign to the open side. There were already 2 people waiting by the steps, a balding man and a short, plain-looking girl whom I recognized as one of the Sue siblings. The man was dressed in heavy jeans and a brown waxed coat. All the angles on his face
Sample complete. Ready to continue?